Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 9 of What's the Word podcast. And today we want to introduce you two special guests.
Shakira, ¿eres tú?
Lelo, lelo, lele.
Well, guys, we have Shakira and Selena. Now we're going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Today I'm not going to say, Bert, what's the word? Because we don't have a word for today, but we have two amazing guests that join us today. So we're gonna let them go ahead and introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Idali Garcia, and I'm the 2023 Zapata County Fair Queen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Marie Martinez, and I'm the first runner-up.
Thank you guys for joining us on today's podcast.
I was waiting for you to say like it's about the county fair, something. I don't know. Never mind.
She did say
It's fine.
Anyways, so like we were saying,
I wasn't paying attention.
so girls, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I know it's been a while since we wanted to have y'all on here. Finally made it happen. We appreciate y'all that are here. And off camera, we have
La directora.
Our chairperson, director person,
Our director.
Miss Nina Gutierrez, the queen herself.
So guys, today we wanna kind of talk to y'all about, because we know that of course you're the queen, first runner up, so y'all have become a community leaders, an example for other girls, you know what I mean? So we want to kind of know a little bit about that, about your journey when it comes to like what do you call it, like a reign, right? And your reign and stuff like that. We want to know about how you prepared for it, what it took for y'all to do that, changes that you had to make so that way you could hold the sash and the crown with pride, you know. So if you could tell us a little bit about how was the competition like? What? No, wait. Let's start with this. What made y'all want to join this?
So, when I was a little girl, I clearly remember going to my first Queen's contest, and it was the year that Sophia was running and she got queen, and I remember seeing it and I was like, wow, I want to be there. And my sister had ran back in 2018, I think it was 2018, and she got first runner up, but she decided to run again. And you know, I kind of watched the whole process for 2 years. I watched it happen, and I was just in awe every day of her, because her work ethic, you know, just everything that she put into it. And that's what made me realize, like, yeah, I want to do this. This is something I really want.
Is there a specific thing that like really caught your attention? Like one thing, name one thing that caught your attention the most.
Just the confidence that all these girls exuded on stage. It was just breathtaking. Every single one of them, whether they won, whether they lost, it was just all of them went out and you could see how much it meant to them to be there. And it was just something that I knew that I needed to do.
Nice. What about you, Miss Emily?
Well, my motivation was ever since I was little, I had been going to every single Queen's contest every year with my crazy granny. And whenever I got the opportunity to like sign up and stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Like I've always said I wanted to, so I'm going to take my shot. And therefore, here I am.
You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Right? So something that what have you learned the most out of this experience? Let's start with you.
Well, the one thing that I've learned the most is that we have to be role models. We have to be able to, we know a lot of little girls are looking up to us, that one day they want to be part of this group, and us being able to be their role models is something like that we know we always have to have good manners. We always have to be on point with everything. We really have to be perfect for those younger generations.
Just like when y'all were little,
Yes.
and
Oh,
y'all were
yes.
looking at that.
Yes.
So now they're looking at y'all like that, like,
Yes.
oh my God, you know, the queens. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, I might be wrong, but they're looking at y'all like Disney princesses kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like such a good, a beautiful fantasy for them to be like, oh wow, like I want to. I'm
Yes,
pretty sure y'all
yes.
felt like that when y'all
Oh,
were little,
yeah.
right?
No, we
course.
truly do. And knowing that there is a lot of girls that look up to us like that just motivates us to want to be better and want to be more out there.
Yeah.
And just want to show them that this is not just a scary like competition, but it's more a really fun experience. And helping out the community is something amazing. Like it truly has shown us and made us a better person.
How
Well
about
said.
how about you, Tita? So this is Idali.
But my nickname
is
is
it
Tita.
Idalis or Idali?
Idali.
Idali. So you go. We call you Tita.
Yes, that's my
Tita.
nickname.
So you mind if we call you Tita throughout the
Yeah,
whole
go
podcast?
ahead.
Yeah.
Of
Okay. Cool.
course.
So Tita, what about you? What is it that you learned that you've learned from this whole experience?
So one thing I can say I learned 1000% was self-love, because I struggled with that for a very long time, and it wasn't until I saw myself in the mirror of my dressing room with my beautiful green dress on, and I looked at myself and I said, "You're beautiful." And it's been like that ever since. And every day since, I try to look at myself in the mirror. I try to go, "You're beautiful. Don't let anything get to you." And it's helped me a lot. It's helped a lot of healing inside me, and that's something that meant a lot to me.
So I have a tendency of doing something, and that's asking uncomfortable questions. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you. You don't have to answer it, and we can always go back and clip it. But can you elaborate more on self-love? Because what we hear right now is like you went through some kind of transition to where you trained yourself and your mind, because you're beautiful, right?
you.
But I know that sometimes we can tell ourselves and we don't feel it, you know? So can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because I know that there's somebody out there that may be feeling just like you, and it might be one of these little girls.
No, yes, of course. And I've told my mom since the day I won was that I wanted to spread my message of self-love to every single little girl out there that looks just like me and older. So when I first signed up for the Queen's Contest, I had told a few people, and when I eventually told my mom, she was like, "Okay, you want to do this? You're beautiful already, but you need to go to the gym." And that was always something really hard for me to hear, because I went through a really, really tough time this summer going into junior year. So I had gained a lot of weight, and I was almost 200 pounds. And I tried to find that motivation within myself, but I could not. And it was really, really hard.
I get it.
So October rolled around, and my mom goes, "I think you should sign up with Nini Nutrition, and I think that she would help you a lot." And I was really hesitant at first.
Nini's a real good coach.
Yeah, she's amazing, and I appreciate her every day. And, and I was nervous because I was scared of what people would say, "Oh, she has a personal trainer, she has a personal trainer." And I was just, that's the one thing that was at the top of my head. And it wasn't myself, it was the words that were going to come out of people's mouths. And I talked to my sister about it, and she goes, "Why do you care so much? Why do you care so much?" So it was,
I point at Bert because that's him right there.
I preach that all the time. Like,
All
who
the
cares
time.
what people think about you? Like, it's their opinion against yours. Like, don't let other people's opinions basically define you of who you are.
No, yes.
Because
then
you
you'll fall in
know
that
who
trap.
you are.
Yeah,
know?
and I started going with her, and it was so hard at the beginning because I had given up volleyball, and volleyball was one of the things I was most passionate about. So that's what really put me down, and that's what really, I stopped working out, I stopped eating right. As soon as I started going with her, I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. So I went 3 times a week, I ate correctly, and it was a struggle. It really was, because, I would see someone eating pizza and I'd be like,
Especially pizza.
yeah, eating my
bro.
grilled chicken, like,
Like, no.
But then I started seeing a difference,
Yeah.
and we had our tea party and we took headshots, and I saw myself and I cried. And I cried a lot because I was like, that's not who I want to be anymore. That is not who I want to be. That's not who I want. That's not how I feel beautiful. So I really went at it after that. And by the time the Queen's Contest rolled around, I felt the most amazing I have ever felt in my life. Like, I'm not at my skinniest. I am not at my skinniest, but I just feel,
it's fine.
I feel so good about myself
Yeah,
now
that's what
than I
it's
ever
about.
have before. And it's amazing. Self-love is super important. And I think that it's a message that everyone needs.
Yes.
Well, man, I really appreciate you sharing that, because I know it might be tough for people to share that with other people or whatever, because we always want to show, we live in a social media world, in an Instagram world, where we just want to show the good things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But honestly, if you notice, like, who has the more views, who has everything, people that are doing like the behind the scenes, the struggle and everything. So by you sharing that, you're kind of breaking, I'm getting chills, dude, I don't know why. You're kind of breaking away from that whole culture of like, I'm only gonna show the good stuff, you know. So I really appreciate you for sharing that, because I know that we watch a lot of like motivational videos and stuff like that, and we love to like, right now I'm reading a David Goggins book, and I'm just listening to his struggle, and I'm like, this guy is not a human, you know. But he's not only showing, like, because we see David Goggins like he's a beast, whatever, this and that, but when, like, as I'm reading the book or listening to it on Audible, like, I'm listening to like really the journey, and it's like, wow, you know what I mean. So something that I wanted to tell you was that we noticed the difference big time.
Thank you.
And you put in the work, and you work hard, and I think that is prime example of what you girls, you know, stand for, which is, you know what I mean, like, we're gonna work, be positive. If we know, like, just for example, in this case, if you knew what you had to change to feel better about yourself, and you did it, although it was tough, the pizza and having to go work out and everything, but you did it, that is the prime example, and that is what these young girls and even older girls need to hear.
Yes.
You know, so
Yes.
thank you for that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because working out sucks.
It does.
'Cause-
Yeah, it does.
It's very hard.
It is.
He's like, you're like on your what, your fourth week? No, for real.
Third week, yeah.
This
No, it
guy's
is
getting
good.
at it.
But it's not to be fake or anything. It's just we had a conversation where I was telling him, like, you feel unmotivated when you're just eating crap.
Yeah.
Eating crap and this, and you feel like, I don't want to do nothing. I want to do this. I don't want to do that. But you have stuff to do. And I told him the last time that I was feeling good was whenever I was working out at the gym with Mike. He was my personal trainer.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, pues I'll go. And then pues acá, camarada was telling the whole time that I was gonna go work out with him until I finally went.
So like on the podcast we had with Jackie and Danny, it was like Jackie like pointed him out. He's like, wait, like on the camera, didn't you say we're gonna go to the gym? And he's like, bro, you told the whole world. And I'm like, yeah, because you've been saying you were gonna go to the gym since a long time, you know. But he started going, and it's like he says, you know what I mean, like you sometimes make excuses for yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, you know, like me, I know I used to do this. Like, nah, like pizza makes me happy, or tacos make me happy.
Tacos
That's
do make me
bullcrap.
happy.
Tacos make you happy,
Yeah.
but that's why you work out, so you can.
So I can keep eating tacos.
That's why you try to be fit, so you can fit more tacos into your belly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the first when I was in the third week, I told them, I was like, man, I feel like motivated again. I feel like doing stuff. Like I don't know what to do with my hands. I told them.
Just go like
I was
this.
like, I need to do
Spare
something.
fingers or whatever.
No, yeah.
But
it's
yeah,
the
it
best
keeps
feeling.
you keeps you going, and it's just a different feeling when, because I'm not using a scale. I'm not checking my what's it called,
Wait.
Like your
Your
BMI.
I'm not checking none of that. I just going off of how I feel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you do feel good after a little bit. Even 2
Yeah.
weeks just going in and hitting it hard, like you feel different. It's just a different feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw that right through your journey. Feel good. How about you, Miss Emily?
My journey?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what you did to prepare, how you prep for it. Because we already know you had your mindset and like, I'm going to do it. And if I know something about you, because we were talking about zodiac signs earlier, if I know something about you is that you're stubborn, number one. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You're hard-headed. Yes. Off the record, I said hard-headed, not Cabbage Patch headed. Don't worry, that's not gonna go on there. He's gonna clip that. I just have to throw that out there. But you're hard-headed and you're resilient. Is that the word? Where like they tell you, it's like, why?
Yeah.
When they tell you can't. Who said? And you, determined. The word determined. You know what I mean? So you made your decision.
Yes.
So once you make that decision, if I know something or if I can read something from you, is that you might be like, crap, what did I get myself into? But like, dang, now I gotta do it, and I'm gonna.
I'm gonna
Am
get
I
it.
right or wrong?
Yes. Every time I decide to do something, I always follow through. No matter how hard the situation gets, no matter if I have doubt in myself. But my journey was basically, I started off, as soon as I signed up, I started going to modeling classes. And then from there, I had practices every weekend. I would travel to McAllen. And then we started having our practices with all of us, like all of the contestants and the former queens. And from there, it was mainly just practicing on my speaking, because I'm a very shy person. I'm timid.
Right.
No, I
Yeah.
am. When it comes to a lot of people,
Or like
I
public
am very
speaking.
timid, yes. So I started getting used to, like, having to talk more, like people asking me questions and stuff. So I started getting used to that. And then from there I went dress shopping. And I just went shopping for all of the stuff. And let me tell you, it was a journey. Like,
Why?
it really was.
Why?
Because
So you were like, if I have it already, I have to do it. There's no backing out.
I never wanted to back out, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I never wanted to back out. But I had got my outfits custom made and everything was ready. But at towards close to the what is it called? The pageant, everything was messed up. Like, nothing was the way I wanted it. So I had to double buy a dress. I kept my Western wear, but I had to get it fixed, sent back, everything. So it was a whole mess. I was super stressed out towards the end. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Like, I don't know. I was going a little crazy. But everything settled and landed well. And the pageant came and everything followed through.
Hey, because I remember, because we were there, we were live streaming the pageant, which we
Yes.
had a full house.
Ooh,
Man,
yes.
if we bring your, ¿cómo se dice?
My
Your,
my chairperson, director person.
if we were to bring her in, like, because we saw the back scenes of it, so like, I'm surprised she still has hair on her head. For real. 'Cause I was like,
she was
dang.
running back and forth.
She was
She
running
no sé,
back
los
and-
tacones.
For real. No, not just in the pageant, but like the preparation
Oh,
of it.
yes.
Like, wow. Like, that's why I ask all these questions, because like we were able to witness it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So, so of course we saw the practices, we saw everything, you know, the headshots when y'all did y'all's media day and stuff like that. Like, we saw when you started like transforming into, you know, what your focus was and stuff like that. And that day of the pageant, you girls were glowing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the day the competition gets here, what is that morning? What is your first thought?
So,
Let's start with Tita.
so como la flor. So I woke up and I just like sat in bed and I kind of stared at the floor for a second and I was like, this is really happening. Like, this is the
it's
day
here.
I've been looking forward to almost my entire life, and it's finally here. So I get out of bed, and a few nights before, my mom bought me these huge banana slippers because my feet tend to cramp real bad. Like, because I had Charlie horse boots, which are boots with a huge heel on them. And like, after I wear those, and it's like the worst pain ever. So I put them on. I brushed my hair. I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, you got this. Like, you got this. I get to my makeup artist's house. She does my makeup, and everything's beautiful. Everything's perfect. And on the way to the pageant, since the day I signed up, I had been seeing the numbers 505 repeatedly, like every single day. Every time I would wake up, some nights I would wake up like at random and I would just see 505. And it was insane to me. So there's a song by Arctic Monkeys called 505. So I played it on the way to the pageant just to kind of like chill out, and I had my feet hanging out the car window and I was laid back screaming the song at the top of my lungs, and my mom was just smiling and laughing, and I was in a good mood. I was in a great mood. So I get there and, you know, I go backstage, I get my hair done, and then interview, and the rest is the pageant.
Well, for me, that morning I had woke up and I was like, the day is here. And I started to get a little bit nervous, but then my mom was like, it's okay. Like, my mom had a little talk and everything. She was like, you've been wanting this for the longest time. So my mood got better and I was not nervous no more. I went to Rick's. I bought some tacos.
I did too.
I bought some tacos.
That sounds good right now.
Barbacoa.
I bought some
And a
tacos.
big
I
rib.
went home and I ate, and then I started packing everything on the truck, getting everything ready. And then on my way over there, my dad was like I had seen my dad because he had got back from work that night before, and I had not seen him that night. So that morning I had seen him, and he had gave me the biggest hug, and he was like, "Good luck, mija. Like you're gonna do amazing." So then that like eased me. Like I was calm. I was like, I'm ready. So I get there and we start unloading everything, and my makeup artist and hair artist at the same time get there and start doing my hair and makeup, and the pageant began. It happened so fast.
Yeah, it was really
It was very fast.
Can y'all explain the jitters like before you step on stage or not? One word to explain the jitters. Go.
Nerve wracking.
Nerve-wracking.
Adrenaline rush.
Yes.
Shoo.
But the nerves go away as soon as you do the opening number.
Boom, gone.
You don't feel nothing no more. Like everything's happening so quick, and you're just focused on what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
After the opening number happens, you're just like, okay, like I'm gonna go do what I have to do. Like you don't think about being nervous or none of that crosses your mind anymore.
Just tune it out.
Yes.
And the opening number was like fabulous. Like everyone was
Oh,
on
it went hard.
point.
I remember.
I loved it.
It was
We were
so-
all on point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it was just it felt like a movie.
It felt like we
It
needed
honestly
fire.
did.
Like,
And then I
For
couldn't
real,
believe
right?
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't believe that we were dancing like that. And like once we started dancing, I started looking at all of us smiling. Like I was glancing around and I was like, wow, like
Yeah.
we're all doing it. Like, and it made me so happy. And that also like my nerves, boom, like they went away. Like I was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And I am not a dancer, but I danced my heart out that day.
Yes,
I was
girl.
like, yeah. Like-
No, yes, we all did. We all really did amazing on that opening number.
Because I think I was there in the practice like the night before.
Oh,
And I don't
yeah.
even know how many times y'all got yelled at. And I was like, and then I remember your
Or,
Chairperson, director, person.
was
Our
like,
director.
oh my god, this and that. And then that day y'all went out there and killed it. I remember like y'all talk about the rush and all that, and it's crazy because what we do, that's kind of like how we feel.
yeah.
You know, because like we're gonna go live. Ready,
So,
ready, everybody in place, little black shirts or whatever, like,
Ah.
and then
but for,
boom.
like,
All
but
on
for me, it's not. I don't get nervous. I get
He's
excited.
excited, muy excited.
I get muy excited.
He
Muy
gets muy
excited.
excited.
I'm
Celino.
just- I,
Selena.
I really want to go already. Like, let's go. Like, I don't think I've ever.
Hold me back, Joe. Bert, wait.
I don't think I've ever got like nervous, or I kind of learned how to turn it into
Like
excitement
channel it.
instead.
Yes.
And I guess when we say nervous, I guess that's probably the feeling, just excitement. But we kind of like represent it as being nervous, but it's just being excited.
Yes.
Could
I
be.
do believe
There's
it's
a fine line.
excitement.
Yeah.
Because that's all we've always wanted, and while we're there, like we're nervous, but it's not that we're nervous. We're just excited to be there, and
Yes.
we're just very hyper.
And honestly, I think because I am in theater, so that like helps so much. Like this stage is my home, and I feel so
Yeah.
at home there. So that was just like another added thing where I was like, yes, I can't wait to be there. Like I can't wait to be in front of all these people. I love an audience. That's one thing about me. I love an audience. Like
Just like you, Bert.
I know. Okay. The contest happened. We know who won. What happened after? What did y'all do after? Like, what was your duties after that?
Well, our main focus was the fair, of course, and from there we started doing the trail ride.
the media tour, which was something else.
Yes. And then
Was
we
that
had the
before?
ceremony.
That was-
Before.
Oh, that's where we went. We were there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the media
The
tour.
media
The
tour,
media-
Laredo.
Yeah.
I thought I was thinking about
The media tour was
the dinner.
before the fair itself.
It was in McAllen and Laredo.
Yes.
That was
So
pretty
we-
fun.
That was-
That was a fun day for real.
For you all, yes.
For us, it was very scary, nerve wracking, but we got better at it as each went through.
I don't think I've ever nervous sweated so hard in my life. Like those 2 days were just like.
I feel like maybe it was just the Spanish.
Yeah,
The
that's
Spanish
what-
questions were what was getting to us, and I know Spanish, but I was just nervous, and they were asking me, and then like Idali would look at me, and she would be like, so I knew I had to answer, and I was like, I better say this perfect. Like, I
Emily,
would
¿cómo
get
se
nervous.
siente ser la first runner-up de Zapata?
Pues se siente muy bonito representar a Zapata.
Tita?
Yo tengo mucho excitement.
So you had the 2 media days, which it wasn't the same day, right?
No.
It was different days.
Yes.
And then, which I imagine was all day long.
Yes.
From what was it, like 8 in the morning?
Probably around
Yeah,
7,
we would
8
start
Seven.
at
to maybe
7 to like
5,
5, 6.
6. Yeah.
So you're just running around all
Yes.
over Laredo, basically.
How are y'all's feet feeling at the end of the day,
Oh.
y'all?
Very tired.
The
Let me
second I
tell
took
you.
off my boots, I was like, ugh.
No, me
knocked
too.
out.
I felt a relief. But it's not something that we were complaining about. Like,
No.
we loved being there.
Y'all were in the zone.
Oh,
Yes, we were. We were going to go do what we had to do, even though we were having a little bit of trouble with our Spanish. But it was not something to complain about, and it would never be. That's an amazing experience I had, and I'm so glad
Yeah.
that I'm here today.
I think we're both like beyond grateful for that
Yes.
experience alone, just because it was so cool being able to meet all these different hosts and see
Yes.
how everyone runs their own show. It was real interesting too. It was
Yes.
like one person would be talking super fast, super excited, and then the next would be chill, calm, and then there'd be news reporters, and it was just like, you know, a different personality every time, and it was
Yes.
kind of cool to see all that.
Oh, and it was cool when we went to it was the TV channel. You know, we were like, because I've never been in a studio like that. So Bert was over here checking out, like, dude, that's what we need. I'm like, bro, you're talking about this on news channel, like, you know, he's like, nah, what if they gave us one or whatever, like whatever he was looking at,
I
and
was like, bro, it's small enough to, you know,
like
we
the
could do
studio was
this.
pretty cool because like, and I know what you're talking about because like. And we got the news at 8, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like, they chill or whatever, and it's like the
It-
camera
no,
points somewhere
yes,
else, and
and
it's
it
the
was-
weather girl.
We were
and
amazed
stuff.
with like their work as well because like everything happens so fast. Like they take a little break, and like us when we see it through the TV, it doesn't look like they take a break. So I never
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get me?
I know. Yeah, yeah. You never knew kind of like how it operated in
Yeah.
the back. Big shout out to the weather girl of, where's it, KGNS?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see. Put me on camera.
Razón.
To the weather
yes.
girl, KGNS.
You can clip it, send it over there.
Send it to him.
Okay, media day happened. The fair came, or what is the fair?
The trail
Carnival?
ride came,
Oh, the trail.
Yes.
Oh, the,
We had
the week
trail ride
came
and
of the whole event
and then
because it starts on the Saturday or Sunday before, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Yes.
It starts.
Yes.
Is it on Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday
Saturday. Okay, it starts that Saturday before the Saturday of the
of
carnival,
the
right?
fair.
What were your duties there at the trail ride?
At the trail ride, we were basically, well, we were in a trailer. Every vehicle we would see, we would wave. We would represent our titles, and we were just there, so like supporting everyone, and as well waving at everyone and showing everyone our title.
It
Like,
was so fun just being on the trailer.
we were dancing.
It was so early in the morning, and I am not a morning person. I am very grumpy in the morning. Like, it was, I woke up, I was like,
It is right.
you
It's
know,
before sunrise.
Yeah.
stomping to my car, and I sat there. And we got there, and I was like, oh my God, the horses! Like, I was so excited.
Like we woke up, and then my crazy granny was there, and she was with the music, dancing. She was like hyping us all up,
She was our DJ.
and so was our director, guys.
our chairperson, director
Yes.
person.
Yes, it was very fun. At first, we were all like sleepy, but then my crazy grandma started putting like the. Sorry, guys, she's not crazy.
Big
but
ol' shout out
she's
to
my
crazy grandma, whoever you are, crazy grandma.
Yes.
Big ol' shout out
My
to you,
crazy
ma'am.
granny. She was putting like amazing jammers, so we all started dancing, and then from there, our director started dancing with us, and from there, it was an amazing ride. I didn't even want the ride to end.
So the ride kicks off the
Opening ceremony
The
to
opening
the
ceremony
fair.
to the
Yes.
county fair, right?
Yes.
What happens? Because I've never been to what happens after the ride.
So after the ride, we arrive at the pavilion and we get off. We kind of say hi to everyone. Then we stand in front of the pavilion. We eat a little bit, and then the national anthem is sung, and it's myself, my court, and then the juniors. So we're standing. They sing the national anthem, and then they have a ribbon, and the parade marshals for the year of the fair. They go and they cut the ribbon, and that's the opening of the Zapata County Fair.
Yes.
And then we kick it off with a cook-off.
Yes.
Oh, so it's
The
a
cook-off was very
first.
fun.
Oh,
too.
yes, it was.
That's right.
I ate so much pan de campo. Mm.
Hey, what I like about cook-offs is that every time like we go do pictures or to a car show where they're having a cook off or whatever, like everybody offers you food,
Oh,
bro.
yes.
Hey, taste this
Yes.
one. I just ate pero dale, and then the next one, taste it, and dude, by the time you finish with everything, it's like
Yeah, you had a whole
just,
meal.
You just have like get sleepy or whatever.
Oh,
Hey, you know what I was remembering during your media day? The commercial that you freestyled during at Cavender's.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That was a cool. Hey,
It was.
dope.
I loved it.
It was a lot of
nice.
fun.
It was good. So again, like, thank you, Bert. Amazing job.
And also our younger court did amazing.
Oh yes.
Like I was like, wow.
Like
They,
little
they were real
professional
troopers
actresses.
because they were the whole day también andaban en
Yes.
ferias, right? So yeah, definitely. Shout out to the what do you call
The
it?
junior
royalty.
The junior court. Shout out to them. Yeah. So. So we were talking about the cook off. It was the cook off, and then I sidetracked a little bit. My bad.
Well, I'm gonna sidetrack again. What happens? The trail race is on Saturday.
Saturday.
Is there something happening Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? Because I know it Thursday, Friday. Well, the showing of the animals, right? The judging and stuff. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Wednesday's moving day.
Mm,
So it's
Thursday is the first day.
Yes.
Like where
Yes.
of the stock show, is on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Then Friday the auction is on Saturday, on the last day.
So the move-in day is on Wednesday, which is whenever all the exhibitors bring in their projects.
Oh, okay,
and
okay, okay.
I had to go because I was showing
Oh yeah,
the
Tita's a
steer.
4-H member.
Yes.
I am. His name was Mo.
Oh,
He
you're a
was
steer.
Crazy.
What do you say was?
He was Mo.
Oh no.
Rest in peace,
Let's
Mo.
switch the topic.
My director chairperson says that.
my burger's name used to be Mo.
Oh no.
I think I ate a mo before that.
Hey, Mo's pretty good.
So we move in that day, and then the day after we start showing.
Mhm.
And I think the day after it's rabbits. Hogs is the last one, so it's rabbits, and then poultry, and then hogs.
Yes.
And then Friday it's lambs, goats, steers, and then Saturday it's the auction.
Dogs, yeah.
Man, and well, whoever watched the stock show on live stream, we did like the interviews. Like that
Yes.
was
Oh, yeah.
so cool because
That
like
was
after
so
every
fun.
winner, every presentation, like
would talk
y'all would interview them. Like that really like people like had people like
They enjoyed
that's
that.
awesome. Like they enjoyed that.
Something.
And
You
that
know
was
what I
actually
mean?
something
Different.
very new to us. But whenever
Very
we
new
got,
to everybody because it's
yes.
never been done. So y'all were the first ones to do
And
that.
whenever we got the opportunity, when y'all offered, like, okay, y'all are gonna do
Yeah.
interviews, me and Tita were excited. We were nervous at
Yes.
first. We were like, what are we gonna say?
Mhm.
But it was.
I don't
As
even
like
think.
as the days went on, we kind of figured out like what we were gonna
Y'all
say.
started flowing a little bit better. I
Yes.
noticed that. Yeah, that was awesome,
But it
I
girls.
was
don't,
a
I don't
lot
think
of
we
fun.
offered it. I think we were just like, yeah, y'all gonna do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
We
okay.
kind of just spoke about it, but it was cool because it was kind of like an intermission before the next. Like
Yeah.
it just kept it flowing. So that's
Yes.
definitely that was awesome. You know what I mean? And something that amazed me so much from that is like, by the end of the day, it's like, how are y'all still smiling? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, man, by the end of the day, we're just like this. Just, let's go to Tejano after this. You know what I mean? Like, ya
Yeah.
cansados. And y'all were like up and down con las botas and everything. And y'all like,
Well,
For
it's
real.
because we were truly so happy to be there.
Oh yeah, it
Like,
was,
and seeing everyone's smiles and seeing everyone like, wow, look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, also is like a huge thing for me and Tita. Like, it would really make us like, okay, like we have to go do this, and we would always be smiling because everyone's always watching us, and everyone would come up to us to take pictures. So we were always super excited to be out there with them.
yeah. And man, I would see the faces like in the little ones.
Yes,
it was so
And it, like you could
cute.
tell like how they're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like it was
Yes.
super cool. Because I remember, and I can say this from a boy's perspective, because I remember when I was a kid, I was a water boy, and I used to look at the football players like, dang, like, you know what I mean? Like
one day.
one day, like. And then you want some water, man? And we'd be like, they'll tap my shoulder. I like feel like,
yes,
you know what I mean? So I'm pretty
Yes.
sure like when the little girls like were there taking pictures, or the little boys, the little kids or whatever, they were like,
their
you know,
excitement
super
would
excited.
go up. Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
what's up.
I took a picture with one little girl, and you know she was super happy, and she walks away. She goes with her dad. Her mom goes, you know, she calls you the princess in the green dress, right? And I was like,
That's
"Stop
what I'm
it,"
telling you. See,
know?
like they're looking at y'all like, oh, like a fan is like Disney princesses and stuff. So it's pretty cool because I mean, obviously we're from the same town or whatever. So I've seen y'all, you know, in and out of the crown, and y'all are definitely like the same person, you know, and that's real good.
And that's
real good.
what I try to keep it, because I like to be as real as I possibly
Yes.
can. Because, you know, I feel like the person I am with the crown on and without the crown shouldn't change, because
People would tell.
yeah.
People could tell, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
wait a minute. You know what I mean?
And
She's
it's
a
just
phony.
No, we just are ourselves with our crown or without. Like, and me and Tita, pues we've been close since a while back, middle
Yeah.
school, and our
our bond has only gotten stronger. We're
and
like
not even
sisters
then.
now.
Yes, and not even then. Like the way we were back then and the way we are now is like the same. We're the same person.
Mhm.
Like nothing has changed.
Mhm. Like now we like when we argue like sisters.
Yes.
Like I want to wear shoes. She's
That
like,
was
no, but I
actually-
want to wear
Yes,
heels.
like-
That was actually gonna be my next
Yeah.
question. But keep going, keep going.
Oh, sorry.
No, keep going, keep going. No, keep going. Like you read my mind. Go.
No, yeah, and like I'll be like, oh, I want to wear shoes.
and
She's
I'll be like,
"But I-"
no.
She's like, I want to wear heels. And I'm like, but we should wear shoes because I want to be comfortable. But I want to look pretty, and it's just back and forth, back
yeah.
and forth.
But it's like we argue as like a sister way. Like we're not
Yeah.
actually arguing.
No.
Like me and Bird, like, dude, I said I was gonna wear black. I said I was gonna wear black. I guess we'll both wear black.
I know.
Dude.
Anyways, back
I
to
see, enough about me.
Enough about me. What was
World
I gonna say?
peace.
Oh no, no. Because after the auction, like I was tired. We wrapped everything up, put everything away, and we left. I didn't even go to the carnival side of the fair, or I didn't even go to the music. I was like, nah, let's go home. So we were just there, me and Lynn, watching everything on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook of you guys dancing and everything. And dije, mira, traen pila estas, dije.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cause
Yeah.
y'all,
Y'all kept
afterwards
going.
y'all go to the dance.
Yes.
Dude, yeah, yo no sé cómo.
Yeah,
That
I
was
was
the
like-
day that I actually like almost passed out. Like it was
Really?
That was really bad.
Yes.
I
Literally.
I think I might have passed out. I don't
No, I
remember.
think you did
But
because she
I
didn't
I
look
just
well.
remember they were like, "Oh, you guys got to go to the concert. Like it's already starting." So I was like, "Okay, I'm going to eat half
I'm
of this
ready.
burger. I'm going to eat half of this burger. I'm going to chug my Coke and I'm going to run." So I did that, and then I kind of freshen up a little bit, and we go. And then my mom's like, "Did you drink water?" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, you know." I was like, "Okay, mom, whatever you
Mentirosa.
say."
Una
Lo que le
cocota.
pasa.
So then Las Phoenix comes on, and oh my god, like I think about it every day, and I'm just like, "Oh, I want to be there
They were
again."
such an
They
amazing
were
band.
so good.
Really?
And so I danced and I danced and I danced, and I was like, I kind of feel funny. And then
You had told
and
me.
then I had told her, I was like, I kind of feel
And
Me
I was
weird.
está
like-
faltando
And
el
I
aire.
started going like this to her.
I know, and I
Like
was
to give her air.
and I was also wearing my Western wear, and it's a long sleeve, and it's thick long sleeve. So then Nina calls us, and she's like, "Oh, come to the pavilion. You'll have to take one more picture." So I was like, "Okay, I'm fine. I'm good." So we go. I take the picture, and as soon as I go outside, I start dry heaving. I was like, and my mom was like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "I can't breathe. It's hot." And then they gave me a little bit of water, and then I don't remember who said it, but they were like, "They gave you ojo. It's okay. You're fine." And I was like, I was
¿Dónde el
like,
huevo?
I was like, "Yeah, it's just ojo. It's just ojo. Whatever. I'm fine." So then we go back to the concert, and I stand there for about 10 seconds. I was like, "Oh God!" And I ran. Like I don't know where I got the energy to, but I ran, and I go next to the porta potties, and I could not throw up. Like it was just nothing was coming out. So then people start giving me waters, and I took my hat off. I don't know where it went. I don't know who grabbed my hat and my crown. Thank you to whoever grabbed my hat and my crown, because I don't know where it would have went. I took my sash off. I think I left it with Emily. And
Yes.
I like sat in a chair, and I just like went into shock. Like my entire body went into shock, and I don't remember.
And I was so worried. I was with the music by myself, having to dance. I had to go on stage for, was it the Jalapeno contest when I
Yeah.
did by myself? Yes, and I was like, at the same time, I had to be smiling, and I was worried about Tita. I was like, well, I wonder how she's doing. But then she comes back.
Well, before I went back,
So you were like,
yeah, I was like, "I'm here, surprise!"
She's like, puro pedo. She wanted to go sit down.
I know.
So I like remember flashes, and I remember going into the restrooms because they had these porta potties that were real nice, and they had like air conditioning and everything.
Nah.
So I sat there and I was like,
Contaban eso.
take this
I
dress
know.
off, take this dress off. My mom was like, you're gonna be naked. I was like, take it off, and I was just like screaming like I needed to get out of it. And then Mr. Guerra opens the door and he's like, the ambulance people are here. I was like, no, get them away. That was the last thing I wanted, was like the EMTs to be there. So because I was real embarrassed already, because everyone was already huddling around me, and it was just making me more like
Anxious or
Anxious.
whatever.
That sounds like a panic attack kind of.
yeah, I
Yeah.
it was like a panic attack a little bit. I think that's what it was. I don't
Like,
know.
It's probably like
like-
panic attack mixed
like-
with like heat and
Yeah.
everything else.
It
Yeah.
sounds like whenever you get an anxiety attack, I
Yeah.
see like, oh, you just want to
Yeah.
take everything off.
So then they walk me to, I was like, give me my hat. And they were like, no, you're sweating. I was like, I'm not walking out there without my hat. So I put my hat on, I have my head down like this, and I was walking, and I could hear people kind of like whispering, like, oh, is that the queen? Is that the queen? I was like, oh my God, please leave me alone. Like, they're like, please look away, look away. So then I get in the ambulance, and I finally take my dress off, and it felt like I could feel all the cold air, and they kept giving me fluids, and I was like, I feel full, but I'm still dehydrated. She was like, oh, that's heat exhaustion. I was like, huh? And then they were like, we need to take you to the hospital. I was like, I'm not going to the hospital. Then they were like, you need to go. I was like, I am not going to the hospital. I am very stubborn. So I was like, no way. So then my mom was like, I'm a nurse. I can give her fluids. Will you let me? And they're like, no, we can't do that. So our chairperson director,
Our director's son.
her son is a firefighter / EMT. So she makes a phone call, and she's like, okay, take her to the fire department. They'll handle her there. So I go, and it was just like, I was so taken care of there. Like, they were like, are you okay? Do you need anything else? We have ice packs. Like, are you okay? Like, just checking up on me constantly. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I feel fine. Eventually, I felt fine.
Yeah.
So I stood up, and the first thing I was like, I really need to go to the restroom, because I just had so many fluids in me. I was like, no, this is not good. So I went, we go back to the show, and I show up out of nowhere, and I was like, hi.
Yes.
Nothing happened here. Nothing happened
No,
here.
and she came back with like a smile on her face and everything, and I was worried, and I see her, and I'm like, Tita, you're here. And she was like, yes, I'm back. And then I was like, how are you or whatever. She was like, I'm good. And she's like, I got you a Gatorade. She's like, don't dehydrate on me.
And
So
where are
basically
people
just
taking
overheated.
you, like,
Oh
just-
yes. A lot of people started, whenever she left, a lot of people started taking me waters and chairs. And,
Like, we can't have this one fall.
yeah. But I was like, I was kind of sad because Tita was missing.
No, I'm so grateful that you were there, though, because, like, you kind of took over whenever I wasn't able to, and I appreciate that a lot. Like, a lot.
That's what we're here for each other.
Aww.
Don't make me cry right now.
So you overheated basically.
Yeah. I was in a toaster, basically.
In a
Like, my
toaster.
costume was just, like, my costume was...
You're
They
tired.
poured water inside my dress. Like, inside. Like, they poured it everywhere all over my dress. And I was like, stop. It's my dress. It's so pretty. Like, I was-
Old school moms would be like, es que te la pasas en el teléfono.
Neta. That's what happens
why.
when you're on your phone all day.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so fair ended. That was Saturday, right? What happens after that? Like, what is a queen's duty after the carnival?
Well,
ends?
after we finished with the fair and all of that, we started having events, helping out the community, going to like little get-togethers and attending to a lot of things, right? But one of our main things was the school bash.
yes, the back to school bash. It was something that was put together by our chairperson director, Nina Gutierrez, and ourselves, and
Yes.
the ZCFA chair, the ZCFA board. And it was so that we could gather school supplies as donations and donate them to the schools.
Yes.
So we did Faith Academy, we did the special ed programs in middle school and high school, and the what's the word for it? The over 18?
I like what she did there. What's the word?
What's the word?
With the over 18 program that they have at the old administration building
Yes.
at the middle school. We donated a lot of supplies there, and we did also do Faith Academy. And currently we're working on donating some more supplies to ZCISD.
Yes.
And a check. And a check.
Nice. Hey, I feel that this year's at least for the stock show, because like you said, like after the stock show, I también, like I just went with my daughter to go see her painting, and then from there we went a little bit to the carnival, but didn't really like stay for the whole thing. But I think like as when we speak about like the stock show and stuff like that, like the setup, like everything, the screens, the ¿cómo se llamaba? Edgar, what was their? Do you know their business name? Their Edgar and
I forget his name.
no, Edgar is the one el camarada that we still keep in touch with.
No, it's there it is.
LG Productions. We're gonna go ahead and tag them on this podcast because they were also the ones that did the county the Queen's contest and
Yes.
like
Yes.
se aventaron and
Oh, yeah.
the experience was great. It was awesome because like being there and like having to like it kind of goes back to like we never met each other,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we had to like work together
Yeah.
in order for it to like flow. And I think that's very important in everything,
Yes.
Yes.
a
of
team,
course.
because like we get there and we have one focus, right? And that's to make this show great. So I remember we had to start communicating. Miss Nina's like, here you go, talk to him, and then this is him and this is this. So we have to be like, okay, now you're gonna put this slide, or now you're gonna do this, or the sound and this and that, and Bert, we're live, and like, you know. So by the time of the stock show, we're already kind of like had connected and linked
Yes.
with them, so we're there, and they would also help us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, this, and they'll go up there like, I'm gonna throw this, when do you want me to throw this image out there, or this and that. So it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they
And
were
the
pretty
setup, and look, shout out to the county Zapata County Fair Committee and everything that is involved in making it happen, you know, because they did an amazing job. And I know with them, like I speak about journeys a lot,
Yes.
because literally everything is a journey, right? So it was a journey for them too, because we're also there in the back scenes of it, and we,
Yeah,
you know
behind
what I
scenes.
mean? We like,
That's where I like to be.
yeah, I know.
In the background.
Bert likes to be in the background,
No, but I believe they were last minute también. Like they were able to do it last
but dude,
minute.
it was like everything was such an like it was great, bro. Like I thought everything was real good, like the setup, like those screens that they brought, really like
standing ones, yeah.
made a big difference. It made it look kind of like a big city, like
Yes.
big rodeo, like you know what I mean, kind of like that.
It
And
made it look
was
very
great.
professional.
Yes.
Yeah, and then when we start doing the interviews and stuff like that just added to the sauce, dude.
Added
It was
spice.
great.
And like as
Spice.
someone who's been showing since the 3rd grade, it was insane to see all that. Like I have never gone to a prospect show. I've never gone to the San Antonio rodeo or anything like that. So to see all of that happen here, I
Yeah, it
was
was cool,
just
right?
like,
Amazing.
what?
It was like big time.
It was amazing. Like speaking as a show kid, I was just in awe, and I was like, wow, like this is something that I will probably never experience again, but I'm so glad I got to experience it now. And I will next year too.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Man, that's what's up.
But
man.
it's cool to find like people like that, because sometimes you end up with another company. I want to say like another company that does that, and they're like, oh no, we can't do this. Oh no, te puedes conectar aquí con mi equipo because we have to do this and we got to do this. And they're really cool. Like, hey, yeah. And they would throw ideas, and we would throw ideas.
For
Like,
real.
hey, let's do this, let's do that. So like being like that, like hand in hand with people like that, that's badass. Like having a good ¿cómo se dice?
a good connection, a good team relationship, I guess.
with people that we didn't even know. Like that's a good like good people.
And it makes things successful, you know what I mean? Sometimes we're gonna have to work with people that it's like we don't even know or whatever. Sometimes we're gonna have to embark on things with people we don't know, you know what I mean? But we give people a chance, or they give us a chance and stuff like that, and man, like amazing things can happen, just like that show, you know what I mean? There was a lot of
That was a good show.
a lot of heads, the whole county fair, like the whole deal, everything, you know, and that goes back to the importance of team and that team knowing what is it called, not the focus, but the purpose behind it, like
the
okay,
vision.
this is the vision, this is what we want to do, or this is how it's gonna how we feel it's gotta be done. Are we in? Are we out? You know?
How
and
can we do it?
How can we do it? And then what if we do this? What if we do that? You know? And the ones that ultimately, like, you find that group that follows that vision.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is important, but it is important to have a team and be able to kind of like everybody be on the same page, on the same road, on the same page. Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, man. So, you know, and I bring this up because also hats off to everybody behind the scenes
Yes.
of the
Of
Queen's
course.
contest and all these things. You know what I mean? Because it goes
Yeah,
beyond that.
executing the right.
Yeah.
Executing the vision is very important too.
Yeah, definitely. Because you can talk about it, but it's like, okay, what are you gonna do? And what are you gonna do? And what are you gonna do?
And
Be able to trust everyone with like, okay, he got this, she got this and that, and everybody's like, no, I gotta do it because I'm being dependent on for this, being reliable.
And everybody that was on the association, I guess the fair association, they were really open into like
Ideas and stuff
yeah,
like that.
how can we do this, or what can we do here, and stuff like that. So that's also pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
kind of expanding not just doing the same thing every year, like the same, like expanding from that. So that was pretty cool too.
That
No,
was
yeah. Hats off to everyone who was backstage there
Yes.
because
A special thank you to each and
you
every
know,
one of you.
it's easy for us to say like, oh yes, we got our hair fixed and we got our costume changed and we went backstage, but we were never actually there for long periods of time. But from what we saw, it was just insane. You know, curtains open, curtains closed. Get these people on here, get these people off here. Go that way, go this way. And it was just like everyone was communicating and everything was just happening. And it
Even
was
like the stylists
go,
and
go.
the makeup artists too, like
Oh,
because they were like
dude,
for
boom,
sure.
boom, boom, let's go.
because it was well, actually, Lynn, which is obviously Bert's wife, makeup by that girl Lindsay on Instagram. Gotta give her a shout out
Plug in.
because también like she worked very hard, bro.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's what's up. So big ol' shout out to her
Shout out
Very
to my
big.
hairdresser.
and your
because
hairdresser and
she-
everybody.
She was my therapist. She wasn't just my hairdresser. I had a costume malfunction on stage during Western Wear. My belt fell off, and that was not supposed to happen. And I had slipped at first. And since I had slipped, I got so anxious, so I was squeezing my waist because I was like, oh my God, I cannot mess up. Bloop, it falls off. So I was like, okay, just swing it around. It's fine. And I was praying that no one noticed, but you know, that little voice in your head that's like, everyone saw.
Oh man, you gotta
So-
cancel that little voice.
As soon as I get off stage, I burst into tears. And then our chairperson, director person, was like, stop crying. I was like, I can't, I missed him so bad. And then they were like, for their final look, and I was like, I went off stage. And then as soon as I got off, waterworks again. And the entire time she was doing my hair, crying and crying and crying. So then eventually I tried to stop crying, and I was standing backstage. I was like, and then my friend Jenna was backstage doing curtains, so she kind of went to me and she was like, hey, just chill out, you're fine, just smile. And she was like, just remember that you're beautiful and no one's gonna take that moment away from you. So evening wear came around, I went on stage and I smiled, and I think I rocked it. I don't know, but I think I did pretty good. And you know, I just hats off to my hairdresser because she kept me as calm as she could, because I was not calm, but she kept me as calm as she could.
Yes.
Very nice. So now that the Queen's contest is coming up again in a couple months, what has there been any or when are like the sign-ups and stuff like that? Like,
So the signups actually started happening last week,
okay,
and they finish on September 22nd. That's the last day to sign up for the Queen's contest, and you do have to be enrolled in 4-H or FFA, and that will be discussed at the first parent meeting on October 16th.
Yes.
and that includes
And you also have to have very good grades. You have to have good grades. Sorry. Okay. You have to have pretty good grades. You know, you have to be a good student.
Yes.
And you have to make sure that your social media is clean. That's one of the first things you want to do as soon as you sign up is just clean your social media.
Make sure there's nothing including
Alcohol.
negative energy.
Yeah.
Anything that's just you already know it's not something that you're supposed to be doing. Don't even have it.
Yes.
Because they will go through your social medias. They will check, and you already know how people are.
Yeah.
They'll take pictures. They'll send it. You already know all of that stuff.
Like, oh, she
So-
wants to run for queen and look at her.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
just don't
So
do
that's
it.
exactly
Don't do
why
it.
you have to clean your social medias.
Let me ask another uncomfortable question. We know, okay, do you have to be in if you out tomorrow, you know, I'm a teen, I'm in high school, whatever, but I've been I get in trouble and stuff like that.
Squinkly.
A squinkle, like I'm just not the best of the best behavior wise, grades, stuff like that, right? Am I eligible to still sign up?
So I think by the day you write your name down on that sign-up sheet, change.
Yes.
Because no
Everything-
one's gonna force. Sorry. No one's gonna force you to change, right? But it's what's best for your image, for how you want the people around you, who you're gonna be around for the next. We start in when November, December, January, February, for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
You want them to see you as someone that they can rely on. Like, hey, my boots aren't fitting me right. Do you have boots I can borrow? You know, you want to be seen as someone reliable. And just changing your image is something that I highly, highly recommend.
And this is the reason I asked this, because people always tend to look at the bad things that you've done or whatever and don't give that chance for change. And it's important we bring this up because I think that sometimes people look at that like, mira, así que ahora quiere andar ahí, or whatever, this and that. And that at the same time, we're throwing out that energy to that person to not want to change. And it's important for kids because I know that, like you say, once you sign your name, it's like you make this commitment. But I think once you make that decision of like, I'm going to sign my name, you know what you're signing for, and you know it's not going to be easy. Whether it's for that or for military or for college, for whatever commitment, you know what I mean? And it's important for you to understand, like, okay, do I want to do this? If the answer is yes, am I going to work for it? If the answer is yes, okay, sign that paper or sign that form, sign that whatever. And okay, it's beyond signing a paper.
Yes.
Now it's like, okay, I got my paperwork on check. Now I got to get my life in check, my heart in check, my mind in check. You know what I mean? But it's also right for people to understand that, okay, they're trying to make a positive transition. Let's not shadow that.
Yes.
Let's encourage them. Let's push them. Let's befriend these people. Let's teach them.
Give them a chance.
Let's
because
give them a chance, because everybody deserves a fighting chance at
Yes.
becoming better. Everybody wants to better their life.
1000%.
Everybody.
But
when
it comes back again to like
To the person.
the small towns that we live in. People are like that. Like you trying to better yourself and make a change, but by some way or reason another, people will still try to drag you down.
Yes.
Definitely.
And
And
it's
that's
always
why
like that.
it's important to understand this, and it starts with people like y'all.
Yes.
Those role models, those people that, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why I asked that question.
And I think cancel culture is really, really like skyrocketed nowadays. And especially in small towns like this, you know, you could have done something 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10
they'll-
years ago.
they'll bring
even,
it up.
And they'll bring it
And
up.
it's like, bro.
As soon as you try to make a change in your life, it'll be
Yeah.
brought up. As soon as you try to do something good, oh, but she did this.
Yeah,
So,
and
she
they'll
now
bring
she
that
wants to be
person
like
down.
that. You know, and it's horrible to see it because I think everyone deserves that opportunity to become a changed person, to become a better person.
And that's good that you mentioned that, because it goes back to what Bert was saying earlier, how people like look at you or perceive you doesn't define who you are. Because they might have known you at a period
But you're at your lowest.
You're at your lowest, or that you don't know where that person's going on. You know, like, you don't judge a person by that. You know, okay, fine, might have been this, might have done that, might have whatever. But look at that person now. what are they doing? Are they really trying to change? Because you also have the people that they want to stay stuck in the same situation for life, and they don't want to move from there. Now, let's be careful with these people. They'll get it one day. Hopefully they'll get it one day, and then they'll move from that negative to that positive. Let's hope.
Yes.
But the ones that don't, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, let them do their own thing. The people that do, let's push these people.
Yes.
Because it's gotta come. It's like nobody was telling y'all to get up in the morning or you have to go modeling school or you had to go and to the gym. Y'all made that commitment to y'all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yes. Here, let me pass the mic over there. You want to be on camera? Come on. Okay.
just turn
Let
it
me
down.
turn this around and go ahead and say something there.
We have our chairperson director,
Hello.
Nina
Now
Gutierrez.
speaking. Woo!
Well, I think that thank you all for having us here. I think this is important. I think that people, I think it's important for our girls to be here, just because I want them to see that it isn't always about the beauty and the crowns and all of everything. All of that is like really, really nice, and everybody works towards it. But we also have to remember that nobody here, nobody that competes, nobody that is in our committee is perfect. Our girls aren't perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, and we understand that. But I think that these girls have done such an amazing job of being their authentic self. And that's what I, as a director or as a chairperson, work hard towards. I want them to be authentically themselves, the best version of themselves. And I think that comes back to that is that, I was a director for the Boys and Girls Club for over 13 years. I saw every type of child come through the Boys and Girls Club. There's some kids that I'm so amazed and so excited about, and Joe, you were one of my kids, and you know exactly where I'm coming from with this. And some kids just didn't make it, and that's sad to me because you want to reach everybody and you want everybody to succeed. But our levels of success, especially with these girls right now, this is going to be my second year, and I was a director before, but I think that, and I told the girls today this, I said, I think this is the first year that I can breathe, that I can literally have them go to an event and I don't have to worry that I have to be there. I have an amazing group of parents. I have an amazing committee. Our Zapata County Fair Association board is amazing. They're all in it 150%, and I think that that's so important. And I think that feeds off, or it's a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
When you have a strong board that's willing to work hard and to do what's best for the kids, it trickles down to where the committees, the livestock committee, all these different committees that are under the fair, that includes the Queens Committee. And so I think that gives us as committee chairs or as committee members the confidence to be able to say, okay, I can handle this. They've got my back. These girls have been doing an amazing job, and I could not be prouder of them. This year was it was a tough year, and we had girls that you all are talking about, that we had a couple of a contestant that was so new to this, so new. And the day that she registered, she said, I wanted to make a change for my life.
Yeah.
And everybody knows who I'm talking about. And well, you all here know who I'm talking about. And it gives me, yes.
Shout out to her.
Yes. And everybody worked hard, including her teachers and people around us, community members. You all helped out as well, personally, and trying to help her get all the things that she needed to become a contestant. And if anything that I can say as a director is that will be my proudest moment, seeing her up there.
Yeah.
Really. And I think it was even proud for our girls too,
Yes, it was
because
very-
you all became real good friends with her, and you all befriended her, genuinely befriended her. And, it was so amazing to be in the back, to step back and to see all that. So if anything that I can be proudest of is not, we had a great show. We had, we sold out, and those are really amazing things as a director, because those have to be my goals year after year.
But
But-
watching people become better persons is
Yes. And to see that, now she is a title holder.
Yes.
She said, I'm not going to give up. This isn't my last thing. I'm gonna do something, and she went on and did another pageant and is now a current title holder. And so, you know, for me, that's what else can I ask? You know, and so thank you all, and and these girls, like I said, are here, and I'm here. I'm like a little, trying to look at them, making sure that they're doing everything right and stuff. And I sometimes have to like step back and just breathe, and because you all know me, and I've always told you all, I demand the best. I demand the best, and I demand the best from you all as helpers and things that you all coming into my team last year was amazing, and I demand the best from the girls. And I think it shows. I think in the end it shows, and we're ready to rock it again for this coming year.
We sure
It
are.
started. The production is on the way. We're gonna try to do it. It's gonna be our 50th crowning. Okay, so it's gonna be extra special. We've got a lot of good things on the way that we can't talk about right now, but I'm super excited. I just wanted to fill you all in on that, and I thank you all for giving me this little bit of time. But I had to say that. I really had to say that. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter if you're a top 10 student or a bottom 10 student, but if you have the guts and you're willing to make the change and you're willing to go out there and be in front of people, and out of hundreds of girls that are at the high school level from freshmen to seniors this year, and we're including seniors this year, guys. We have 5, no more than 10 girls compete. That says a lot about those 10 girls that are competing, or 5 girls that are competing year after year. I think that, it takes a lot of guts.
Yeah.
It does take a lot of guts. And you all see that, that it's just not like, oh, it's not just a walk in the park. It may look like a walk in the park, right? Because these girls truly rock it. But out of hundreds of girls, because there's hundreds, maybe 1,000 girls at the high school, that could do it. And, so for 5 or 10 girls to be up there, being like in front of everybody is takes a lot. So right then and there, you're already a winner. And I always preach that to the girls, and then I tell them, let's have a good time. Now I was the very first one jumping in the back. When the opening number started, I was just having a blast, because it was a lot of work before then to get to that point. So, but that's all. That was my 2 cents worth. Thank you.
Thank you, director.
No, say the whole thing.
Thank you, chairperson, director person, Mira Gutierrez.
So, man, thank you for that, and
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that, because it is important, and everything that you mentioned, you are correct. When we go back to this contestant, I don't know if we can say her name.
Nah, we just keep.
We just don't have to, right? Okay, but we go back to when we say, like, okay, like, here it is, right? It's right here. You want it? Take it, but it's gonna have to work. You're gonna have to work.
Yes.
And she was a prime example of that. Of like, what was that word?
It's a lifestyle change.
Sacrifice and
Dedication. She showed her dedication.
dedication
Yeah.
and everything. And there was times where I was like, oh, like, I wish she was here. But she'll tell you this, like, because we as even as adults, we go through this to where, like, which, like, you know what? Forget it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And it might be a daily thing. And I'm gonna bring in Romy to this picture. It's Romy.
Yes.
Find her on Instagram, and it's Romy, because she says this, like, I want to quit, like, probably every day, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
I want to be here. But you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to feel like you know what? Like, nah, forget this,
Stressed
forget this,
out
forget
and-
this.
yes.
You know what
We
I
talked
mean?
about it the other day. That I felt like that the other day. I was like, man, I'm just gonna.
Oh,
Go back
yeah.
to the
I
old
remember that. And I es más, I had talked to you about that so many times, and then you're like, nah, bro, just sleep on it. If that's what you... This guy just ended up saying, like, if that's what you want to do it. But sleep on it. Okay. So I'm like, dang, why is Bert not telling me not to quit? But I get it. It's like, okay, you know what? Like, you want to quit. But that's where your character comes in, and be like, do I want to quit? Nah. And this girl was a prime example of that, because we saw, like, like our
Chairperson, director person.
Yes.
yeah, her, like she says,
It's not a walk in the park.
it's
It
not
is-
a walk in
it
the
is
park.
hard.
And she had never done this before. And then we go back to something else where it's like the way y'all took her in and y'all made her feel part of it, that's special. That's very special. And if we as humans had more of that, we could do so much.
Yes.
Yes.
So much. So whatever happened there, that whole energy that went on there, keep it up. Keep it going.
No, yes.
Just because y'all go on and do something else, whatever, like never forget that.
Yeah, because y'all could have easily just. It's competition. We're gonna do our own thing, and then her being new, she could have came into it and be like, went back to school and be like, nah, they're just a bunch of stuck up girls that are at the competition. Like, you don't even do it. And then you what's it called? You push away new people from trying.
Yeah.
You know.
But
y'all
that's
did that.
just not the type of person,
Yeah.
the people we are. Because whenever I saw that she was signing up, I was so happy because we've been friends for a good while. And I was like, wow, like, this is something new for her. It's going to be, like, a new life for her. Like, she's going to open new doors. So I was super excited. She had messaged me. She texted me, like, hey, like, you think you can be helping me with anything? Like, rides, anything? And I was always there. Always. And one of the days... This is making me cry.
Go for
One
it.
of the days...
We encourage tears here.
One of the days, we had took her to Laredo, right, for a practice. And I had started practice, so I got dropped off or whatever. And my grandma and my mom were messing around with her or whatever. And I don't know how it started that she told my grandma and my mom, like, ¿Sabes quién me enseñó a querer? And she mentions my name. So, like, she's in my heart.
And like Emily is one of the first people I go to when I need something, when I really need something, because she would throw herself over a grenade for anyone, and that's a quality in a person that I hope I can have one day, that I would be able to go out of my way for anyone who needs it, whether I'm on bad terms with them, whether I'm on good terms with them, because one thing about her is that you're on bad terms with her, yes, but she will never tell you no if you really need something. And I saw when people would judge the girl and people would say things about the girl, I'd go, why are you judging her? And Emily was the first person to defend her, and I just hats off to her because I was amazed every time she did it. She's one of the most genuine people I know.
There's this thing that I saw on Instagram last time that said something like love to the people that defend my name when I'm not present, something like that. Shout out to those that defend my name when I'm not in the room.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of these qualities that y'all talk about, like don't ever change that. Don't ever change that. Always be genuine and always do things out of heart. If you don't want to do something out of your heart, don't do
Don't
it.
even bother doing it.
Don't do it because he'll show. You know what I mean? So whenever you do something, like, do it. And I can tell you're genuine. I can tell that. And you know, I can tell that because, like I said, we saw y'all in your journey to becoming, you know, the first runner-up and the queen. Like, we saw that. So we saw y'all with the crown on and with the crown off. You know what I mean? So keep that. Always keep that and never change that. And for all you know, somebody's always watching. And somebody's going to look up to y'all.
Somebody's always watching.
All the time.
Every single time.
Yes.
When nobody's watching,
Yeah, definitely. That's what matters. When nobody's watching, that's what really matters. Because it's like, okay, are you really like that?
Like, you're being your true self.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you don't know how many lives you're going to touch in your lifespan.
It could be the littlest thing. The littlest thing. And that could affect somebody's in a big way.
Definitely. I'm going to tell you something that happened to me yesterday that I thought was so yesterday we celebrated my little girl's birthday party, or we celebrated her 14th birthday, and we were at her Romy shop. And one of the kids, they come up to me, and he sits there and he can talk and talk and talk, and he's just talking my ear off. I'm falling asleep because I'm feeling tired, but I'm listening to everything he says, and everything he's saying is like, man, this is a sharp kid. Like, he can talk and talk. He was talking about, hey, let's start a company.
Really?
He's like, how much do your shoes cost? Like, and we ended up, we're gonna open a shoe company, okay? But this kid's just like talking about it, like how much you think it's gonna cost to make them, like asking these questions that like he might be asking just out of the blue, but it's like in business, like they're questions that matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, how much does it cost to make them, and how long will it take to make them? How much do you think we could sell them for? So he comes up to me, or he's there and he's telling me something. He's like, he says like, hey, I saw your video, right? You know, the Faith First video. He's like, I saw your video. He's like, it's pretty cool, man. You know? And then he's sitting there and he's like, but how much is that shirt? How much does it cost? And I'm like, well, it's $30. He's like, dang, that's overpriced. So like, he like slammed me down. But then check this out. He's like, but you offer motivation with it, so they get more than what they pay for. Like, he just like brought me back up like that.
Wow.
Dude, and I'm listening to this and I'm just like, you know, everybody that's there starts laughing because like I'm falling asleep. So it's like, he just talks a lot, right? But I'm literally like listening to everything he says. And like, we're talking, I think he's like 8.
He's been hearing that somewhere, bro, because
He's 7 or 8.
little kids, I'd say the most craziest things, but it's like,
Bro, but like, if I'm repeating this right now, it's because it like really synced in, and it's like it's like listen to what he did. Like, it's like a lot of people use this strategy. People that know.
yeah.
So he like crushed me
He
to
brought you
bring
back
me
up.
to that raw form, and then he's like, but he brings me back up. You're like, bro, I was just so amazed. So that's what I'm telling you. Like, you don't even know. Like, this little kid like made an impact in that moment
Yeah.
to me. You know what I mean? And you never know who you're gonna do that to. You know what I'm saying? For all y'all know, y'all gave her a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know that. Maybe y'all did. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. So that's why you always be that person that y'all are.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then you mentioned something earlier that really resonated, or that really it kind of hit, where you're like, what are people gonna think? Like, that was your thoughts back then, right?
Yes.
And to boil it down, it doesn't matter. If you know what you're doing, if it's your heart is in there and your heart is in the right place, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what people think. Because even those people, they're watching.
Yep.
So how do you defend yourself? By doing you, by growing, by keep being that person, by impacting the world in your way,
By changing.
by changing, by making those changes that people may be like talking bad about.
Yeah, by taking new people under your wing and making that a staple. Like, no, we're not gonna push people away. We're gonna bring them up and give them hope and
Definitely.
bring
Yes,
and
yes.
give them, you know, not a purpose, but like,
Just the motivation to want to be
Motivate-
better each and every day.
yeah,
And to change their lives. Yes.
you know, make that the staple of being a queen. Like, this is what you need to do. You know, you don't bring people down. You bring them up.
And it's like talking about that person. Now look at her. Like,
Yeah.
we pushed her, we brought her out there, and now she's a title holder.
She's just
and I'm
glowing.
extremely proud of her. I remember she texted me. She was like, "Are you gonna go see me?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm gonna be there." And then that day, she came and hugged me. She started crying.
Ay, chiquita.
So I just think that's like a really good example to us being very open, and that's how it should be. Because now look at her. Like, we let her come in with open arms. We helped her with anything. We're all equal. There's no que esto que el otro daughter de no sé. No, we're all equal. She came in. We helped her. We always talked to her, laughed, made jokes, made her feel comfortable, because she was uncomfortable at the practices in the beginning. She would tell me, she's like, I don't feel comfortable.
remember.
And I would be like, no, like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, just be you. And now she went through the contest or whatever, and she didn't give up. She kept on fighting, and she got what she wanted.
And you know what's cool too? Like, I remember like during school and stuff like that, there was some instances to where she gave that energy. What was it? Prom, homecoming, or like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So it's like, bro, like that's what it's about. Because, and I tell you this, and I tell him a lot of things. You know what I mean? So he knows this, but I'm like he's like, whatever. But, unconsciously, he motivates. Sorry, you can bleep that out.
I have to believe it. See, now I gotta work more.
Hey, I was unconsciously, you know what I mean? And he'll throw a video out there sometimes, or by just seeing him do what he does, like it motivates me, you know. And it's like, nah, pues, también, like I gotta step my game up.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it goes the other way around too. And it's funny because like everybody that we around like now, we don't see each other as competition at all. Because so let's just talk let's just bring up Roxy a little bit. Eleanor Edits. She started doing video and she's like, I've always been passionate about it. I've always wanted to do it. And I'm gonna bring this up. It's uncomfortable. I don't care if she hears it or whatever. I'm probably gonna tell her. But she says, she's like, it's because I never wanted to do it, because I was like, oh, they're gonna say like, oh, because Joe and Bert do it, like you want to do it too. So for the longest, she held off on doing that until she finally like, you know what, I'm gonna do it.
We basically bullied into her.
We
We
bully people.
We
like,
reverse bully. We bully people into doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's basically what I do.
You know, yeah, definitely. That's what he does for real,
Aggressive.
I
and
bully
it
in a good
works.
way. Yeah, we bully in a good way. Like, just go for it, and we'll be there. Like, do it.
Until they find
Or be like, ooh, I thought you were gonna do it. You're not doing it.
yeah.
What happened? You're scared, like that. You know what I mean? But we want. So she starts doing this, and guess what happens? Now we're all kind of like she went with me to Laredo. What day was it? Yesterday, the day before yesterday,
Monday.
and she was there doing the background BTS video and stuff like that, and she's just pumping videos, and it's awesome to see that, because now she no longer cares about what people may say.
say.
She's like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. This is what I want. Boom. For all she knows now, she's got her full support, 1,000%,
Yeah.
and we would always support her, because at one point, if she becomes like the top notch and she just goes off on her stuff, guess what? We want to be on her team.
Yeah.
And we want to look one day and be like, you know what I mean? Like, we're never competition, because like I know she can depend on us, and I know that we can depend on her. I know I can depend on Bert. I know
Yeah.
Bert can depend on me, you know, stuff like that. So you build a unit, you build a network of people. All of a sudden, we might all move away to China or whatever the heck, but guess what? You take that over there and you start forming that and branching out that positive energy, or that, you know what I mean? So it's important. So I just mentioned that because we go back to the friendship and
Yes.
the what y'all would do, because at that same time when y'all would do all this, she starts transmitting that to other people.
To other people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's something learned. Like, you push. Like, everybody wants to do something. Like, this was something that she wanted to do, but she just needed that little push. Like, yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
You know. And most people stay stuck because they never try it, or they don't have somebody to like
Push them.
push them a little bit, or
Motivate them.
guide them. You know.
And we all need that.
Everybody needs
Yeah.
guidance.
Everybody
as well.
needs guidance and push.
Of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, people get put in the box sometimes.
You can only be an athlete. You can't be anything else.
Yeah.
Say this on the mic.
I'm sorry. Let me escuchar aquí. But it's because I really, I'm passionate about a lot of things. You guys know me, you know me for a long time, so y'all know that I'm passionate about certain things. But I think a lot of the times we label our own kids, you know, as a mom, as a grandmother, as a friend, whatever you want to call it. You know, I have so many titles like that. What we do, I think, wrong sometimes is that we try to label our kids. Well, this is my athlete. This is my dancer. This is my smart one. And this one, no, ese no quiere hacer nada, or whatever, you know? And I think that once they get labeled or boxed into a certain thing, it's so difficult for people to see them anything different.
Anything else? Yeah.
Right? And so, so I think that it resonates when I think what you all have been doing, because I've been, we've started with registrations with the girls. It's going to be our 50th crowning this coming year. So there's been, Tita is a 49th queen. So there's been 48 women before her. Well, 47 technically, because Miss Kayla Pina served 2 years during the COVID stuff. So there was no contest. But there's been 47 other women before her that have taken, this crown and stuff. And so, there is a huge sisterhood that precedes Tita. But it's so nice to see that girls are starting to look at the Zapata County Fair Queens contest as an avenue other than, I'm not only a dancer. I'm not only a geek or whatever you want to call them, a smart person, or I'm not only an athlete, or I'm not only a cheerleader. I can do that too, and I think that we need to get away from that stereotype of thinking that, oh, well, only these certain girls can be queens or can be, the court. I always preach to the girls, anybody can be a title holder.
Yeah.
If you have the passion, if you're willing to make the sacrifice, because it's a huge sacrifice. It's not easy. Like I say, these girls aren't perfect. They don't always feel 100% their best. But you know what? They go out there and they give 100%. But I think that as a small town that we are, and I love this town to death, and everybody, I wish I could leave and stuff like that. I wish that one time, and I ended up in a smaller town than Zapata. Smaller town than San Ignacio, actually, Van Horn, Texas, if you're hearing me.
Van Horn.
Van Horn, Texas. Some of y'all may know. I was super young. I moved away with my daughter, with my first daughter, my oldest daughter, and I prayed to God that I would never say that I wanted to leave Zapata again. 2 years later, or a year later, I end up back home, and I've never left. I love this town. I'm invested in this town. I'm invested not only with my children, but also I think that we build a family together with the people that work, that we do our volunteer work, because all of this is volunteer work. We don't get paid, but the girls become my family. Their family becomes my family, because that's how close knit we are, but I think that we need to break those stereotypes. So I think we need to break those things that only certain people can do that. Does it become expensive and things like that as you're competing for any title, whether it be Zapata County Fair, we have Falcon Lake, we have Miss Zapata County, we have Miss, there's so many other titles, but it does get expensive. But the one thing that I love about this town is that when they see the ganas that you see in people, people just jump and help, like our girls did. I know that Emily, like, you all in you all's own way helped each other out. Not only her, but each other out as a whole group, and that's what I love to see, that they would help each other out and that they were genuinely helping each other out.
Yeah.
So I think that once we start to break that mold of girls, that any girl that willing and wanting to do it can do it, then I think that we're going to change that perspective. And the Zapata County Fair Queens contest, I think, provides that. We're not a beauty pageant per se, because it's not a beauty pageant, because people will tell you all these things. Why didn't so and so win? Because she's the most beautiful one, or she's the most this, or she was this, so you get it from everywhere. But in the end, we have to understand that it's what that child brings out in that moment, at that time.
Yeah.
And what I perceive as who may have done the best job can be very different from what Joe perceives, or what you, Bert, perceive, or these girls perceive, But in the end, once it's done, it's done. Let's get to work. Let's make it an amazing year. And I think that this year has been a testament to that.
Yes. And that reminds me of when I had signed up. I signed up going in thinking there was going to be a talent portion of the competition, which there is no longer. These years there is no longer, but maybe in the future there will be.
Yes.
So I had signed up thinking there was going to be a talent portion, because I do sing a little bit. And my sister sings, and my sister is the singer out of all three of us. She was stereotyped out of me and my brother, and herself. She's the singer. I was theater, my brother was athletics. So uh, everyone, you know, was like, oh, she's going to do her talent. She's going to do her talent. I wonder what she's going to do. And then it comes out that there's no talent. So everyone was like, oh, she can't win now. There's no talent. She's not going to win. There's no way she can win. And something about that was just like, screw everyone, I'm going to win. Like, that drove me really hard. And I worked and I worked and I worked. I walked in those heels till I cried, till my feet were cramping, and I was sitting on the floor. It was more motivation than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I thank the people that said I wasn't going to win, because if they had never said anything at all, I don't think I'd be sitting here. Like, that was my biggest motivation.
Yeah. And it's what they say, like, they put people in a box, like this person is this person is that, or that person is this, and then people start comparing them. So it's like, oh, I can never be that, or I can never be this.
Yeah.
You know, but it's what they say, like, comparison is the thief of joy. Like, if you keep comparing yourself to other people, you're never gonna be happy in yourself. That's why I've always said, like, people you compare yourself to anybody, you know, to this person, to that person. Oh, I can never be this, I can never be that. Or I've told Joe, like, I've never compared myself to you. I've never compared myself to any other photographer or any other videographer. I've always just said, like, oh, I need to work on this, or I need to work on that, because I want to make something similar to this, but make my own thing. Because when you started comparing yourself to me to him, be like, oh, pues, I can't do that, you know, like, I'm gonna do that or this, and that's when people start doubting themselves. You know, especially in school, because in school you're very vulnerable to comparing to this person or to that person, or oh, she's more popular than me, or she's does this better than me, or, you know, and that's where you basically not fail, but start doubting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's something that you shouldn't do,
and
because
sorry,
you're not. No, you're good. Because you're not the same. Like, you're never gonna be her, and she's never gonna be you.
You can't run someone else's race.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? You're in your own race. You're in your own right here.
Lane.
Have you ever seen race horses? Like, when they race, what do they
Yeah.
put here next to them?
the numbers.
Like, no, I don't know what they're called.
It's
It's like a mask.
Little blinders.
Like
And
those
you-
little blinders.
So they can't see.
Exactly. You gotta sometimes run your race like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's real easy to be like, oh man, like, I wish I could do that, or this person's doing that and I'm not. Like, it's real easy to veer off and take it negatively, to where then you start, like, always, like he says, comparing yourself, and you're seeing that you're not advancing as much as they are or whatever. But, like, if you weren't so focused on running their race, you would have advanced way more in your own race. And that's what matters.
Yep.
You know? And that's an important subject, because, like he says, like, especially, like, in school and stuff like
Yes.
that, everybody's always trying to, like, maybe one up somebody else, when it's like, nah, like, let's
Just be you.
just be you. Every person is a own world, you know. Your struggles may not be that person's struggles. Your victories may not be that person's victories. Your goals may not be that person's goals. You know what I mean? And it's always good to have both sides. One of them is the person running their own race, and another person encouraging them to run their own race.
Yes.
Like, and this guy is real good at that. Dude, you can't compare yourself to others. You know, you got this. Like, you know, somebody's watching, or you gotta keep doing you and stuff like that. You know, so yeah, man.
And you'll figure this out once you get out of school. Like, once you leave school, like, it's a whole different thing.
We're actually realizing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is helping us as well.
Yeah. I mean, I had to learn to run my own race the second I quit volleyball. And, you know, after that, I was no longer a jock or whatever. You know, I was a part of that group, because, you know, I have been since I was 6 years old. They're all my friends, all the volleyball girls, you know, the senior volleyball girls, the senior basketball girls are all my friends. But after I quit and I stayed with theater, I kind of had to tell myself, like, okay, people are going to think you're weird for doing theater. It's going to happen. But it's what I love and it's what I'm passionate about, and no one's going to take that passion away from me because it's what I want to do. And it's just what I dedicated myself for going on 4 years to, and I wouldn't take any of those 4 years back.
You want to know something funny? When I was younger or whatever, when I was in high school or whatever, I just wanted to be the cool person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I found my way in hanging out with the ones that would fight, the ones that would get in trouble. That's where I plugged in, right? Now that I'm, an older person, I'm a young older person. I regret not hanging out with the band members. I regret not hanging out with the kids that would like play Magic, like the ones that were like, because right now we're nerds, bro.
I was.
We're nerds, so I regret not hanging out with those young nerds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really regret it, man. And it goes back to the whole thing. Like, I want to be this kind of person, so I'm just gonna plug in with these. And for all I know, like, if I would have like given a chance at socializing with these other group, because I would like talk to everybody, right? But my circle was kind of like this, and I would just stick there. But if I would have given that chance and kind of like gotten out of that comfort zone and been like, hey, because I tell you something, dude, I look at the band members right now and I know there's still that, how do they say it? That like, oh, no, I don't want to join band. Like, no, what are they going to think of? Like that. I know that still goes on, but man, the work, and honestly, and it was so cool because we posted a picture of the band on last games. I'm sorry, we didn't post we posted the Strutters. Don't start.
And the Strutter manager,
Yeah.
Ontava should have been down there.
I was standing there the entire time. That's my
Me
job.
and Idali were not there in that picture, so I feel like that's disrespectful.
Shut up.
That was personal.
That was totally a personal shot. No, so it was like, but when I was taking pictures of the band members, it's like whoever was playing the instruments kind of like would do this. And I put a caption like, or somebody commented or shared it, and I was like, it's the heartbeat of the football game. Because without the band, what are the cheerleaders or the Strutters gonna dance to? Who's gonna everybody is important.
Yep.
So that and that's why I say, like, one of the things that I hardly regret anything, but if one of the things that, and I don't regret this, right, because obviously our things make us who we are, whatever, but if I could go back to those days, I would definitely give myself and give these, like, everybody else a chance to, like, kind of like befriend them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, dang. So I bought that guitar up there because obviously I wanted to know how to play guitar, but now it's hanging there because I never practiced. But I'm like, dang, man, if I would have hung out with them, I would have been hella musically inclined. Because, dude, if you go to band members, like,
I was a band member.
well, you can probably pick up any instrument right now and learn it like this.
Probably.
You know what I mean? So it's like, dang, that'll be cool to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One boy in theater, and he's a sophomore right now, and we're doing a show, Wild Bunch Women, and the show is there's a lot of music going on the entire show, and it's live music, it's on stage, and they give this boy a harmonica. They go, learn it. 5 minutes later, he comes back. He's like, "Oh, I came up with something for the first part of the show, and then for the second part, we can do this."
There you
I was
go.
like, "What?" Like, and he played it, and it was good, and it was like good. Like, he had been playing his entire life. I was like, why didn't you pick up a harmonica sooner? Like, this is amazing. Like,
And I'm gonna tell y'all something. And going from this, I'm gonna give y'all a challenge, like a challenge, okay? But whenever I moved from Mexico, I was that kid, that unconfident kid. I didn't know what was going on. It's a totally new world. The moment that people start befriending me and coming to me, I start feeling taller and taller and taller. And they made such a difference in my life. So I challenge y'all to go tomorrow to school and make a new friend that is outside of the circle or whatever is, you know what I mean? I challenge y'all to do that. And y'all see how many genuine people y'all are gonna have
Find.
in your group and find. So I challenge y'all to do that. And I'm not gonna come back and be like, okay, let me get a count on the new friends y'all made. No. But let's just leave y'all let's just leave with that and leave that in, you know, I don't broke the mic.
Sorry.
Podcast over. Broke the mic.
Adios.
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 Thank you for watching. No, so I challenge y'all to do that. Befriend somebody that you've never talked to before. I don't know how much social butterflies you are or whatever.
Or
but
just even saying hi to somebody.
just even say hi, and you see how much of a difference that could make to that person. It's like, oh my gosh, he said hi to me. He said hi to me. You know what I mean? Like, do that. I'm telling you, you're gonna make so many people happy just by y'all doing that, and
I
y'all
wanna
gonna
speak on
feel
something.
happy by doing that.
I would want to speak about something.
Do it.
Last Friday, we were at a game, and me and Tita go to the restroom, and there was band members in there, and they were like staring at me. I was in my Strider uniform, and they were just staring at me, and then me and Tita both told them like, y'all did amazing. Like, I don't know how y'all could stand out there and put a show when you're literally sweating in that suit. And we made friends with them, and they were telling us, oh, you're all are so pretty, and like all of this. And like when we got out that restroom, me and Tita both said, like, wow, like they're amazing.
They're so nice.
And
Like,
if we don't open up and like talk
Yup.
to these people,
Yeah.
we would
You
never know.
You would
You
never
never
know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Because when I was in school, I was in band, I was in football, I played Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. Like I was everywhere.
Hey,
Yeah.
could you show me how to play Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
I always wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
So I had friends everywhere. You know, I wasn't popular, but I had little friends everywhere. But I ended up, hanging out with the jocks. I ended up hanging out with the band guys. I ended up hanging out with the people that played the cards. I even hung out with the bad crowd.
Yeah.
And it's funny because now I see people like they see me around, and it's like people that I knew from school, like, hey man, how's it going? How you been? This, that, and my mom's like, pues you know everybody or what? I was like, pues no, pues I just know them from
Friends
school,
everywhere. Yes.
And it's different. And even like he was saying, like even just saying hi to somebody or a little compliment or whatever, or like even when you see like a little kid or a little girl, like me being a football player, just giving a little kid a high five made his day, his night,
Yeah.
and this is the same thing that you girls could do with just taking a picture with a little girl, just getting down to their level and be like, hey, how you doing or whatever.
Yes.
It makes a big impact.
you just gave me like a memory I had not thought about in like years. But I remember in the 7th grade,
In the 7th grade.
or was it the 8th grade? It was one of the grades,
7th or 8th.
middle school. I had my little boyfriend, blah, 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 middle school, and he got hurt at one of the games, and I was devastated because that was my boyfriend. So I
My
was
life's over. He's
so
there.
yeah, I was
He's gonna die.
cheering, and I was like, gee, oh, let's go, Merlins.
She
I
had
was
an attitude. She
I
did
was-
not want to cheer no more.
I was really sad. And eventually, the game finishes. They take sorry, it's not funny.
It is funny.
They take him.
Let's be
they-
honest. It is.
They take him on the ambulance, and I was texting him like, "Where are you?" As if he could answer. He was there, like, I was like, "Where are you? What are you doing?"
And then the next day, why didn't you answer?
She was being a little toxic.
No, but I walk off the field, and I was looking down on my phone, and I hear a little girl go, "Hey." And I wasn't paying attention because I was like, "Are you okay?" Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and then the little girl goes, "Hey," and I was like, and I look at her and I was like, "Are you talking to me?" She was like, "You did really good and you're really pretty." I was like, I cried. I probably traumatized this little girl because I cried more. And then I was like, "You want to take a picture?" She was like, "Yeah." So then the mom was like, "Smile." I was like,
Little girl was like, but could you like stop crying?
Yeah.
Take a picture?
She
Can you
was like,
Stop crying, please.
Yeah,
Then we
for
can take a picture.
no, yeah, but like she said that to me, and I went home and I was like, "Aw, maybe I don't have to be sad." Like that was really good for someone to say to me. Like it it was different. I've never gotten complimented by a little kid like that before.
And it's like those comments really make you
Yeah, feel good.
feel good about yourself, and not even like if you tell someone or you are being nice that day to someone or you make someone's day, that makes you as a person feel better as well. Because that's how I am. Like every morning I'll be walking or whatever, and someone drops something, I'll pick it up, and they're like, oh, thank you so much, whatever. And that makes me okay. Like I did something good. So like it makes me feel good. And whenever people like comment or they tell me something, like it just makes me feel like such a good person. And like that's what I'm trying to say. Like it's good when we give out comments and we receive comments.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they help both like ways.
I think saying something kind to someone at least once a day heals your soul.
yes, it really does.
I think being mean also.
Actually, being
No
mean
wonder
pushes
you wear
people.
black.
Like pushes. Like it depends how they take it.
Yeah, being mean in a good way.
In a good way.
Yes.
In a
You know.
good way.
Being like pushing somebody. Like we were saying, like bullying in reverse.
Bullying in reverse.
So that's the challenge for y'all.
Challenge accepted.
Man, so
Oh no! Keep that. Do not erase that. You gotta keep that.
No.
No, yeah, it's gonna stay.
Okay, I'm done. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, guys, bye.
okay, the 50th crowning, right? Where can people sign up? Where do they have to go?
So at the high school, they can go to the dance studio. Miss Dalia Garcia has the sign-up sheet with her,
Okay.
and they can just sign their names there, and they're signed up for the contest. It's open for grades 9 through 12.
Yes.
9 to 12. Okay,
Nice.
very nice.
Anything else you girls want to add? This was a very interesting, and I think it is a very edifying
I
podcast.
would love
I
to
really
say
enjoyed
that
it.
this was my very first podcast,
Me too.
and it was honestly so fun. At first, I was nervous. You should have seen me and Tita. We were like this. Literally, we're like this is how we're gonna be the whole. No, but y'all made us feel comfortable. Doesn't even feel like we're being recorded right now.
No, yeah.
Cool.
I feel like I was just talking, but also I get really bad word vomit when I'm nervous, so like that probably might be why. But
No, but I want to thank y'all for having us here.
yes,
And taking y'all's like time of the day to be here with us for hours and stuff, and just know that like we really really do appreciate
It's
y'all and
literally
everything y'all do.
It's been so fun. Like personally, I do watch a lot of podcasts.
No,
Like I love murder mystery podcasts. Those are like some of my favorites. And like I've always wanted to be on a podcast. So when we got the message like, "Hey, you're gonna be on the What's the Word podcast," I was like,
We're like,
"Shut up!"
and we had mentioned it. Like we're
Yeah.
we're thinking of being like doing a podcast.
Because we saw our best friend Kiana on it, and I was like, "Oh, I want
Yep.
to be her."
Dude.
Literally,
Oh,
Kiana.
man,
Woo!
those girls are, oh my
crazy.
God, man, they're so funny.
There's
They're
a lot
something
of
She
that
kept
podcast
bullying
that
this
work.
guy that day. He's like, well, DJ Bert, what's the
do-
word? And
Why do we go like? Why do we all bully you?
I have a bullying face. I don't know.
We're just trying to motivate you to be better.
Exactly. Nah, y'all just being bullies to
Nah,
me.
it might be bullies.
But man, no, we appreciate y'all, and we're glad to have you here. And I think this was an amazing podcast with a lot of good
was.
content.
Yes.
And I think that we have shown or kind of like what we wanted to show, and that's like the genuinity in y'all and
The
those
competition.
the
and
competition
everybody.
stuff like that, and those girls, those people that look up to y'all now, since they're gonna know that there is a challenge out there, now they're gonna hold y'all accountable.
Oh yes.
But we know you'll be okay because that's genuinely y'all. You know what I mean? So thank y'all for being here. Thank you to
Our chairperson, director person, Nina Gutierrez.
thank you for being here too. And I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Anything else that y'all wanna
Wait,
say before?
Selena, eres tú?
Como la flor.
All right, guys, and thank y'all for watching What's the Word podcast. Peace.
I'm like, my eyes.